So students, today I will explain about vector addition. But before starting, let me tell you something. In the junior classes, you were told the definitions of scalars and vector physical quantities. So what were the definitions? For scalars, these were the physical quantities which possess magnitude but no fixed direction is there. And for vectors, these are the physical quantities which possess magnitude as well as direction. So we just complete the definition by these single lines, these one or two lines. But now the most important that I am going to explain, that for vector physical quantities, these are the physical quantities which possess magnitude as well as direction. But one more point is there, that their addition or subtraction must be done with the help of vector algebra. They cannot be added algebraically. You have to apply vector laws for the addition and subtraction of vector quantities. So if two vectors which are parallel to each other, they can be added directly. Just you can say algebraically, you can say that you just add their magnitudes. And if the vectors are anti-parallel or they are in opposite direction, then you just subtract their magnitudes and get the resultant. But if two vectors which are not parallel or anti-parallel, if they are inclined at some angle, then how to add them? For this type of problems, we have vector laws, and today the first law is triangle law of vector addition. First of all, I will move towards the definition. If two vectors, vector A and vector V, these are represented with the help of two sides of a triangle taken in same order, then their resultant can be represented by the third side taken in opposite order. Listen properly. If two vectors A and V, which are inclined at some angle, are represented in both magnitude as well as direction with the help of two sides of triangle taken in same order, then their resultant can be represented by the third side of the triangle taken in opposite direction. What is the meaning of opposite direction? See here, vector A is in this direction, vector B is in this direction, but their resultant are, that is the third side, that is taken in opposite side. So this is the opposite order. This is the same order. One more law is there, that is called parallelogram law of vector addition. What is the statement of parallelogram law of vector addition? It states that if two vectors, say vector A and let us suppose it is vector B, these two vectors are acting at a point, say this point. If these two vectors which are acting at the same point, they are represented by the two adjacent sides of a parallelogram, then their resultant can be represented in both magnitude and direction by the diagonal of the parallelogram passing through the same point. I am repeating it again. If two vectors are represented in both magnitude and direction by the two adjacent sides of a parallelogram, then their resultant can be represented in both magnitude and direction by the diagonal of the parallelogram that is passing through that same point from where vectors are acting. So these were the definitions of triangle law of vector addition and parallelogram law of vector addition. But you must learn that in triangle law of vector addition, vectors must be represented with the help of two sides of triangle taken in same order, and resultant must be taken in opposite order, that is represented by the third side of the triangle. But in parallelogram law of vector addition, the two vectors acting at the same point, they must be represented with the help of adjacent side of parallelogram, then their resultant is represented with the help of diagonal of parallelogram, but that diagonal which is passing through that common point. Now after that you can calculate the magnitude and direction of resultant. So to calculate magnitude, you just concentrate on this diagram. Let us suppose you just see that there is a right triangle ACE. Triangle ACE. Use Pythagoras theorem. So using Pythagoras theorem, it is AC square is equal to AE square plus EC square. AC square, it is R square. For AE, you can say I am going to write it AB plus BE square plus EC square. So this will become R square. For AB, I can write A plus BE square plus EC square. Now in this expression, BE and EC, these are the unknown things. So to find out the values of BE and EC, you can say BE and EC, you just take triangle BCE. Using trigonometry, BE unknown over BC known. BE over BC, base over hypotenuse, it is cos theta. So BE is BC cos theta. So BE, this is B cos theta. In this way, if you have to calculate CE or EC upon BC perpendicular upon hypotenuse, it is sin theta. So EC is BE sin theta, EC is B sin theta. So substitute the value of EC and BE in this equation. Your R square is A plus for BE, it is B cos theta square plus for EC, it is B sin theta square. On solution, what you will get? R square A square plus B square cos square theta plus 2AB cos theta plus B square sin square theta. Now R square, say it is A square. Now see here, out of these two terms, B square is common, and cos square theta plus sin square theta, if B square is taken outside, it will remain sin square theta plus cos square theta, and its value is 1 plus 2AB cos theta. So your resultant will become square of R, it is A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta, or resultant R is under the root A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. So using this formula, you can calculate the resultant, the magnitude of resultant of two vectors. To find the direction, you just suppose that your resultant R makes an angle alpha with A. So you just calculate for direction, you can use tan alpha, and tan alpha is perpendicular over base. Perpendicular from the diagram is CE and base is AE. So tan alpha for CE, it is B sin theta over AE. AE, it is AB plus BE. AB plus BE. So your tan alpha, it will become B sin theta. For AB, it is A plus BE, it is B cos theta. So using this expression, you can calculate the direction of resultant also. This is the magnitude of resultant and this gives the direction of resultant. So sufficient for today. Thank you.